All right, we're going to spend a couple of minutes here just briefly talking about setting and how it impacts narrative, how it impacts the Bible stories that we read. This is part of our series on how to read the Bible as literature, and I'm glad you've chosen to come this way to check out narrative setting. In previous videos, we've had a chance to talk a little bit about the character. We've talked about the plot and some of the plot devices that might be used along the way. And in this one, then, we're going to talk about setting and what setting tells us. You can almost look at setting as a character, and because it's so integral to the way that the story is told. So setting will include the physical place, and given some time by the author, he will describe in visual detail what he sees. Whether this is a mountainous place, whether this is a desert or snowbound, you'll get some description of the physical place. Setting also includes a specific time, a specific historical era. So if I said the physical place was Paris and the physical time was 1789, you would know we just landed right in the middle of the French Revolution and all that that would entail, and we would know it implicitly because of the references that the author has given to us. So in Scripture, when we talk about setting, anything that we can learn about the physical geography of Israel or Egypt or wherever else the stories are happening, the more that we can learn about the different eras, whether it's a United Kingdom era or whether it's the time of Jesus, all of that will help us to better understand the story that we're reading. It will also help us with culture, with attitudes and beliefs and customs. You start reading about the Goel and the kinsman redeemer, and you will know, hey, this is a period back during the time of the judges and earlier, and it wouldn't be necessarily as prevalent in the time of the early church. So that's a culture, knowing the attitudes and beliefs and customs of the time. The settings enable the events that happen in them. So when you think about David running from Saul and hiding in a cave, understanding the geography of the desert and the caves that are there and the wildness helps a little bit to understand how that story could come about. The setting is a place that is a fit container for the action. So we've been talking about Nabal and Abigail and David, and when we look at the setting that is, one of the main features is the setting at harvest. Once there is suddenly an abundant harvest after years of that harvest not being as fruitful. So the setting is a fit container for the action, helps to explain what's going on when Nabal is happy and drunk and acting like a king, and then when he withholds his help from the true king. You watch all of the fullness that is there, and you understand the anger of David because of his responsibility over his mighty men and their families. So the settings often have symbolic overtones. Here is harvest, and the harvest indicates abundance, and it gives us an opportunity to see that the way you manage that abundance is an important thing, and hubris can get in the way of that. So that's setting. It's an opportunity to see the place, the time, the customs in which your story is taking place. So the details of setting draw us more deeply into the story. So think about when you're reading a story and there are details that the author gives you about the setting, why does he include those details? That would be an important insight into what he's trying to accomplish in his story. And then after that, can you identify a purpose from looking at the setting of the story and its details? What else might the author be trying to tell you? So, your turn. Pick a Bible story. It could be David and Abigail and Nabal, like we've been using. You might have a story that you like on your own. David and Goliath, Elijah on Mount Carmel, Elisha and the bear. Choose a story and try to work through some of the ideas that we had with regard to setting. Ask yourself questions about the story and where it's set and how it's set and when it's set, and see if that doesn't help you to gain a real appreciation for the narrative that you're reading. Thanks for hanging out.